I know it's an auspicious evening with us being in the playoffs. Looks like the game's going pretty good, but we do have some business we have to attend to. And hopefully we can review some of the budget changes that have been made over the last couple of weeks and have a short conversation and get home to our families and the last 3 or 4 innings of the game. So,
I know, they play that game fast now.
they definitely keep it moving.
Donna, quick question, column 2 here, the 2023 budget, is that the budget through August?
No, it's always the full year.
It's the full year budget, all right, thank you, just want to make sure. All right, sorry, Doug.
Donna, would you like to just refresh us on from the email you sent out today, which was the
Right, so
changes you made?
basically, this budget does not have a real estate tax increase. But what it is saying is using $224,000 of your fund balance. Last year, we did use some of the fund balance. It's not something I recommend doing every year. We should have,
The fund balance meaning the money left over from the previous year.
yeah,
We're supposed to get to pretty much zero, right?
no.
No.
You should always have the GFOA, which is like Government Finance Officers Association, best practices recommends that you have at least a minimum of 16.7% of your budget in a reserve account for emergencies. So for, if I can get on here, for Parkside, it's about, it's like 390,000 would be, if I remember correctly. Right, let me get on this Wi-Fi here. So if your 24 budget is $2 million and you want to keep 16.7%,
320.
yeah. So you're looking at about close to $400,000 of reserve that you should have at the end. So you should have the 400,000, but you should also have enough money to carry you through February, which is why in some years you would have gotten the TAN. We didn't do that last year, so I'm trying not to do that this year as well. The other thing is that your trash contract, based off of the trash contract, it's increasing. So I increased the surcharge 6%, and I increased the fee from the trash vendor based off of the contract. So I think you should definitely increase your trash fee. Even if you increase your trash fee $20, you wouldn't have enough money to cover what your trash collection expenses are. So that's something else like that you would need to consider. You did hire, new full-time officers, but you really needed to do that because of the shortage, and $55,000 this year was spent on outsourcing police that was no longer sitting in your general fund, right? So that was kind of expensive, but no. So we're budgeting based off of the contract and the fees, $337,000. And last year the trash fees were budgeted at $307,000. So I'm saying even if you increase it like $20, you'll still have a shortfall in trash fees of like $20,000.
Yeah, I think that sounds reasonable since it is going up per our contract that we raised it 20.
Okay.
Well, Donna,
Well,
if
we
we
should-
don't increase it more, where's the shortfall of 20,000 coming
It's
from?
gonna have to come from the other revenue that's generated from the other line items.
Right, so we're actually gonna be short 20,000 if
Yeah.
we don't increase it more.
Correct.
We should definitely zero it out. Just gives you a bunch of good reasons. They had a tipping fee increase, our contract's going up, fuel's going up. There's been a
Well, then shouldn't we
What line item is this?
increase it more so that we're not?
We should definitely
Yeah.
figure out exactly what it is.
So
This is
you
the
go
first
to page
conversation
6.
about it, so we'll,
At the top, you'll see the fees. And I think the budget, I'm sorry to interrupt, the contract was emailed out by, Bob, so I believe I'm reading it correctly. So the contract amount for 2024 is $230,000. And then you have your tipping fees on top of that, which is 107.
So you're $20,000 shortage there.
Even increasing it, it
Uh-huh.
seems like you'll be short.
I'd have to agree with Doug, that's something we should zero out.
I can't see starting the year $20,000 in the
Right.
hole.
So you would increase your, trash fee to $400 a year,
What is it now?
$360.
Yeah, our contract went up and that should be something that we try to, distribute as much as we have to pay.
I don't mean to be out of touch, but what is it usually, like, say if you had to go to,
The Scarrow and Sons.
yeah, like if we were doing it like residential, like if you lived in Wallingford and all that, what do you pay in trash fees personally?
Yeah, because it's through, the township.
Oh, you got it through townships as well?
We have township employees.
Okay, gotcha.
Ridley has township employees.
Because a lot of like Concordsville, Wallingford, a lot of those have independents. And I'm just kind of curious what the,
Yeah,
I can send
find
a text
out.
message and find that out.
I'm just kind of curious what happened, I think it's still a really good value at $100.
Yeah.
I would pay $400 a year for trash.
And they pick up everything.
Yeah, and you're getting two weekly trash pickups, one recycle trash pickup, and then it includes 2 bulk a year,
One bulk a month.
1 bulk month, is that it?
So you're getting, we went from 2 recyclables a month to every week. And I think we're getting our money's worth.
All right, so for now, we'll go with the assumption that we raise it up to 400.
So just going through this, it doesn't, it's always hard to budget the taxes because I do not know what your assessed value is gonna be, so this is based off of last year. I also emailed Ed today, if I don't hear from him, I'll try and call him, to just see if I'm getting any more funds, but, for the rest of the year. So the real estate transfer tax, I did bump that up to 40,000. And the reason I did that was because the average was like 47, and the September financials are almost done, and I think September year to date was, hold on a second. Is already at 37,000 pretty much, so I don't think budgeting 40 is unreasonable, and like I said, the average was running like 47. For a 5-year average. So I think I'm comfortable with that. Earned income tax, again, I bumped that up a little bit to $10,000. Year to date through September is 206, and we get a big chunk in October for the quarterly. So I think the 235 is reasonable. The Act 205, that was just based off of what we received this year, that increase. We did take out the police officer. I'm just thinking of what changed from last year, from last month's budget. I did reduce the solicitor budget. Oh, the car. So we took out the police officer. So if you go to, I'm sorry, I know I'm jumping around here. Page 4. a couple things here. So I adjusted the crossing guards down. So originally what had happened is we budgeted everybody working 525 hours. So that's why that was so much higher last time. So I did drop that down. And then the workers' comp insurance was in here at 60, but it's spread out to all the different departments. But the police line item for the budget was still carrying the 60, so I decreased that by 25,000. And then they also decreased the capital purchases. Originally we had 75, I brought it to 40 because we talked about leasing the car. So they're really the big changes from the last budget.
Donna, can we go back to, the cash on hand?
Yeah,
So instead of a tax increase for the properties, then you're gonna decrease our savings account.
right. And
Is that,
that's been done. That was done when the previous finance guy was here. If you have enough reserve, and that's what I want to look at.
I'm not sure we have enough reserve.
Well, right now, so I was doing the
Without
cash
COVID,
projection.
without the COVID.
Without the COVID, there's 313,000 in Pliget, I believe. So if we can keep the Pliget and not use the money in TV, then we should be okay. So I keep trying to check the cash and see. The problem is I don't have access to TD Bank. So I can't see the deposits until we get the bank statement. So that's made it a little difficult. So there still might have to be a tax increase because I don't want to deplete the reserves.
I think, many
And
of
we
us.
did hire, I'm sorry, we did hire 3 new police officers, and that comes with new equipment, that comes with pension expense and stuff like that. And so I think the townspeople need to understand that they're paying for public safety. It's not like there's any other expenses in here that are out crazy. You're paying for public safety and public works. So, if, I don't know if anybody has the password for this Wi-Fi here. I can't get on, 2590 5G.
I have it on my computer, not here.
I can try to use my hotspot.
I can give you my hotspot if you need.
I have the password in here.
Got it?
Well, what's on my hotspot? So, on my phone. All right. I mean, that's the big get, like, there were properties that sold, did they sell at higher values? And so your assessments are gonna be higher and you're not gonna need this money. That's to be seen,
Well,
right?
we can't count on that.
Well,
We're not gonna know it until November.
until the,
Letters come out.
Half of our budget is the police. I mean, our budget, we have a $2 million budget and 1 million of it is police. And
my only concern is, as I started to mention, is we've struggled to start a savings. And it's wonderful to see something like that, because if there's an emergency inlet, if there's an emergency road, if there's a terrible winter, we don't have anything left in liquid fuel to fall back on. So if we take everything out of savings to do a cash on hand to make up the difference in the budget, then we are in turn not only losing our savings, but we don't have anything to fall back on.
Right. I mean, I agree with that. It's.
I mean,
We had,
even with the
at the
cash on
beginning
hand
of the
right
year, we
now,
had 8% inflation.
I mean, even with the cash on hand right now, we're still below that 16%
Yeah.
that's recommended.
400,000.
So,
And if you keep
I-
depleting it and you don't have a reserve for emergencies.
I mean, as much as I would hate, I'd say try to avoid using the cash on hand and
Yeah, I don't see any like real fluff in any parts of our budget.
I went, I'm sure we've all gone through it line by line and, you know, we've doubled and increased like permits, to add a little bit to it, but
And then you have to achieve those numbers just so you know. So,
then we have to hope we make these goals,
right.
you know, of income to offset the expenditures.
I mean, earned income should increase because your, you know, people's incomes are going out because of inflation, but it's hard to predict that, you know?
And this, and when Parkside gets hit really hard if there's any bubble.
Yep.
We bubble it all and that turns upside down quickly.
Right, and that's the other thing. I mean, you look at what is going on in the world right now, and you just can't predict what's gonna happen tomorrow, so.
The interest rates on a home loan is at least 7% right now.
Right.
So
I mean, we are getting good, interest on the plate. I think we made like 1,500 this
Right.
month in September,
Right.
so.
So we're actually making money.
So I can put together some scenarios, and, you know, like I said, November is when we get the assessed values. We can just assume they're the same. And see what that gets us, if we see anything else in here. What you think we can look at? I did increase the crossing guards 3% because they were under $15 an hour. And I feel like other municipalities are paying more than that.
They are.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
I did increase those. I think I increased everybody 3% except council and the mayor. Which 3% on an 8% inflation, I mean, yeah. Inflation has gone down. Beginning of the year, it was really.
And did we get any type of notification yet from Delaware County Solid Waste to see if that was going to increase this year?
Yeah, they put in 6%.
6%.
I think that one main dump is closing in the next 2 or 3 years.
That's what I'm concerned about.
That's what we paid for like 3 years ago.
Maybe the transfer stations?
No, the actual, like, where all of our trash goes,
Oh.
storage capacity.
Well, no, but they opened up a new section up there, the Rolling Hills landfill.
Okay.
That's what it's called, Rolling Hills landfill. Yeah, they opened up another section.
Okay.
I still have code enforcement in here. The electrical building inspectors are really based off of the permits at 50%. Just so you know, the fire marshal salary is only in here 3,600. I don't know if that's correct. But I think that's what the guy's getting
That's what
now.
he's currently getting is
Yeah.
3 a month.
So I did increase Ryan salary 3% and, Bob Platt 3%. And as I said, the crossing guards. So that's, I mean, they're minimal increases in that regard.
I have to agree with Doug. I mean, it's pretty bare bones. You know, so it's a decent budget with the exception of using the cash.
Right, so we looked at, I was trying to do cash projections, so Sharon Bank right now has 309,000, so I predict out to February, so very conservatively, I have October to February additional cash, 260, and then expected cash available about 570. So if our average burn rate on average is like 150,000. So we would need an operational reserve of about 300. If you take the current budget, it would be a lot higher. But that includes things like MMO and the one-time payment for the insurance, because we paid that all off altogether. So if we say, all right, operational reserve, I mean, ideally it would be close to 400. We are going to have a shortage, so we're going to have to try and generate it from somewhere. I'll run the different values for the real estate and see what I also will try and get an idea of other municipalities, what their trash fees are. I honestly don't know, because mine's in my real estate bill.
Ours have always aligned pretty well.
Yeah.
I think it might have been 70 when I moved here,
79.
something like that.
So my friend from Wallingford just replied back. So as you said, Wallingford,
I was just curious what their private.
yeah, you contract with private haulers and your neighbor can have a different hauler than you can have.
Right.
So he pays $420 for twice a week, doesn't include recycling or bulk trash.
Oh, so we're still on.
Yeah.
I don't have to mess with it.
Perfect.
All right, 400.
And we're under contract until the next negotiations.
Okay.
Donna, I did have a question on the cable TV franchise fee. I see
Yeah.
that you increased it.
I reduced it.
I'm sorry?
I reduced it.
Decrease.
You reduced it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, you're right. But year to date, you received 25,000 or at the end of August.
Right.
Do you think we should just even that out of 30,000 or 28 or? From what I understand, a lot of people aren't using cable anymore.
Correct. Yeah, so yes, that's through September. That didn't really change through September either. So, yeah, I can bring that down to 30.
I mean, I have cable, so I don't know what everybody else does, but. You don't have cable? I mean, it's not gonna help much, it's only a couple thousand.
Well, actually, it's making,
It makes it worse, by 3. But, I mean, we can't nickel and dime ourselves into $250,000.
yeah, I think if you increase that, $40, you're gonna you'll get close to the break even for the track. And then we'll just have to look at trying to make up some of that loss in the real estate tax.
Any other federal money coming down the pipe at all?
We're wishing,
Yeah,
Year every once in a while, but that was something. At least they're like permanent.
and that's nice money to have.
Just gave us a nice little half an hour workshop to try to line up a few things. It would be perfectly reasonable but disappointing, but to have a tax increase, but we've had 24 months of steady inflation, even if it's backed off a little bit. We've brought on 3 new full-time police officers. We've had to outfit all the accoutrement to go along with that.
Yeah.
And none of it's free, cheap, or easy, so.
I mean, when you look at the trash increase, it's like $3.33 a month that you have to pay extra. So I think that's reasonable. Because I don't think we increased trash last year, did we? No. So we haven't had a trash increase. We did increase real estate taxes. I think we're gonna have to do that again this year as much as nobody wants to do that. But I don't know what else we can do on this budget. So unless, we have a windfall of money come in. I don't know about.
Well, if we get that grant for out of the streets, that would make it so that we'd be able to spend the ARPA money some other way.
Yeah, that would be good.
But we've been waiting on that for how many months?
Yeah.
Everything is more expensive every month. Hopefully.
And we have a window that we have to use that money by.
Well, you're good. 'Cause
you're okay.
They haven't even okayed it yet.
The money, the ARPA money.
ARPA is till 2026.
We put it in this revenue replacement.
That's
It's
right.
taken care of.
Okay.
So it's fine. You're under $10 million. They're not coming after you. They would waste more money looking at that money. So when you had filed the compliance for that, you just had to say that you used it for lost revenue.
Yeah.
And
We checked the boxes.
we checked the boxes, right? Yeah.
But, that doesn't mean we still wanna spend that money.
Yeah, you want to be prudent with how you spend it, but.
But yeah, we gotta hold on to it till we find out what's going on under Edgemont.
Yeah, so
It was very.
most of that money can plug it and a little bit more.
Earning good interest.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah,
Motion
and
adjourned.
just to follow up on the credit cards, I emailed Sharon Bank. She was supposed to get back to me. I emailed her again. I still haven't heard, so I'm waiting to hear from them about getting the.
Accepting credit cards.
Do we not physically have the credit card?
It would be as somebody to come in and pay for it with a credit card.
Oh, this is a different.
To be able to
Okay.
accept the credit card
Yes.
payments here. So I'm waiting for that.
That would be great.
Shall I adjourn?
Absolutely, that was good.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you for your time. If anybody, when you're looking at the budget, if you have any questions whatsoever,
Thank you, safe travels.
I will see you next week, right?
Yep, next week.
Next week.
Report should be out.
Hopefully there'll still be playoffs going on.
Yeah.